First of all, we're going to talk about doing an ad on Facebook. I'm going to show you that. Now, the caveat to this is that Facebook changes a lot. Okay, so it may be different the next time I look at it. However, are you seeing Facebook now? Are you with me on Facebook? Okay, good. So I'm at Facebook. This probably looks somewhat like yours. I'm going to come over here to the left, click that button, slide down, and find Marketplace. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Okay. Before we start placing an ad, let's just take a look around a little bit and see what we can learn here just from looking at the ads. I'm going to slide down and I'm going to look at property rentals. Okay. And click that on the left. All right. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click houses for rent. Okay. Now here we're just looking at houses for rent right now in this area. And you can see there's some pretty nice houses here for rent. But look at how it's formatted. Okay, $950 4-bed 1-bath house, KC Mo. $1,100 3-bed 1-bath house, Grandview. There's no titles. There's nothing that says see this rental now. There's nothing that says rent to own. There's no titles. There's a price, beds and baths, and locations. I do not like that. I do not like that. But that's what rentals look like over here on Facebook. Okay, now let's go over here down to the bottom and let's take a look at home sales. These are homes for sale. Okay, now you notice anything different about these listings? Now we're just looking at listings like anybody would, like any prospect buyer would. This is what they look like for everybody. You can notice these are different because, see, it has a price just like the rental did, but here it has a title, owner finance. Here it says 3-bed 2-bath house. Here it says off-market property, fire, 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 fire. Whatever the fuck they are. Okay. So there's some customization going on in some of these that you don't see on the rental side. So you have a question that you need to answer when you're going to do Facebook, and that is, am I going to post an ad on the rental side, or am I going to post it on the for sale by owner side, or the for sale side? My personal opinion is try the for sale side first. If you're not getting a lot of traction, pull your posting down and then try the rental side. Okay. I don't suggest trying both because I'm not sure that works. Last time I tried it, I got there was a conflicting ad and they got taken down. Okay. So do everything simply, one at a time. Don't get complicated. Don't try to overwhelm it in any way because it's very sensitive. It seems to be. Okay. So if we're going to do a listing, let's just go ahead and do one right now. I'm on Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to click create new listing on the left. You can see it changed the screen for me. And now I have several options here: an item, a vehicle, a home or sale for sale or rent, or a job opening. Well, obviously I want to click the home for sale or rent. The first thing it wants me to do over here on the left is it wants me to add pictures. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to add some pictures. Just give me one moment and I'll add those. All right. There's some photos. What kind of photos do we need? Well, you can add up to 50 photos, and you want pictures of the outside, you want pictures of the inside, but you can see the main photo here, the first one, is like the back end of the house. And that's not going to work out very good for me. So I'm going to take the front of the house and drag it up here to the top and make it the cover photo. Oh, see, that's much better. This is the preview. This is the preview window, by the way. All right, so now that I've got pictures down there, I'm going to slide down a little bit and start filling out some of the blanks. Home for sale or rent? Well, let's go for sale. Let's try for sale first. Then we're going to go property type, house, number of bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, price. Okay, let's say this one, $220,000. Property address. Let me see here. All right. Now we need to put in the description. Okay. The description I could steal off of something. Zillow. This is realtor.com. Okay. I'm just going to steal that here just for a moment. I'm copy and paste that right back into the description over here. And then I'm going to edit it. Okay. Because I don't want to just plagiarize this realtor, right? You will love this ranch. How about that? You will love this lease and buy ranch. Okay. See, I'm just being creative here, just messing with the words. Backs to woods. What does that mean? Okay. Well, I don't like the way that's written, so I'm just going to come in here and change it. Okay.
That means the back of the house is facing the woods.
Right. Okay. All right. So there's just lots of mumbo jumbo here about the paint and about the vaulted ceilings and about all that. I probably would normally keep that, but instead of taking 10 minutes to edit this entire thing in front of you here today, you get the idea. I'm putting some nice, lovely things in here, right? One thing I want to be very clear about, though, is okay. Okay. Something like that.
Justin, what were you saying? One thing you want to be clear about? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of went in and out.
Oh, no, I was typing. I wasn't talking. That's why.
Oh, okay.
See, so I changed the description here that says now this is a lease and buy opportunity. Reasonable down payment is required. So I want to make sure that's in my description someplace, right?
Okay.
You know, I'll just be honest with you here too. I've done this before, okay, on a lease option deal. This is an owner finance opportunity. No bank needed. Okay, but Justin, it's not owner finance. It's a lease option. What's the difference? The owner's being creative. Okay. I've never had anybody say, oh, well, usually they'll ask this. What's the terms? I mean, what's the percentage rate and, you know, all that payment and everything? Okay, well, let's back up, sir. Are you looking to purchase a home? See, I just go right back into the dispositions lease option side. You're looking to purchase a home or just rent a home? Okay, well, this is a rent to own opportunity. Is that what you're looking for? Okay, wonderful. Okay. I don't care the ad said owner finance. I find that to be
qualifying. That's what you're saying. So about you got to qualify.
I'm sorry, say that again, Sandra.
No, you're saying it's pretty much all about qualifying, even though regardless, what's out there, you have to qualify them pretty much.
Yep. You're gonna every time, it doesn't matter what you say,
Mm-hmm.
I just find this to be pretty clear that this is not like, when you say owner finance or something like that, you're being pretty clear that this is not like, hey, go to the bank and get a loan, so this strikes interest in people. They're like, oh, great. What is this? It's owner finance, no bank. Wait, I love this lease and buy ranch. Oh, wow. Backyards facing wooded area like country quiet living. Oh, okay. Hopefully that's what I'm getting out of people, hopefully. That's what I'm going for. So let's go down here and put the square feet in. Laundry type, in unit, parking type, garage. It's important to fill in the blanks here. There's only 4 or 5. Central air, central heat. Okay, great. I'm looking at my preview and it looks pretty good, except there's one thing I don't like about it, and that's that the title is house. But here's where Facebook gets kind of screwy because, see, there's no blank for title. Well, look where it says house. It only gives me 4 options: townhouse, room only, house, or apartment. So I got to select one of those. So I've got a mandatory title of house. I hate that. They need to fix this shit. All right, but hold on. I'll show you how to fix it. All right, so I click next. It makes sure I got the location right. Okay, so I hit next, and now it says, do you want to publish this in these groups? See, now if you were a member of those local buy sell trade groups, you could just go ahead and click those right here and publish this right away. I don't recommend doing that. Okay, and I'll show you why. When you go down here, just hit publish without having any share buttons selected. Don't share it yet. Just hit publish. Okay, I'm going to hit publish. I just did. And it's thinking. Okay, let me share the screen again and show you. Here it is right here at the very top. 3-bed, 2-bath house. All right. Now, the issue I have with this is that Facebook loves your telephone, but they don't really like desktop as much. So I'm going to log into my phone here, and I'm going to go to Facebook, and I'm going to go to Marketplace, and I'm going to click on my listings here, and there it is right there. It says the listing is being reviewed because they have to approve it first. All right. So you can see, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can share bigger screen here with myself. Okay. So you can see there it is at the top, 3-bed, 2-bath house. That's all it is. So I'm going to click those buttons next to it, and I'm going to click edit listing. Okay. Now notice it brings up a box called title. 3-bed, 2-bath, right there. 3-bed, 2-bath house. Now I can change the title on my phone to anything I want it to be. So I'm going to change it to owner finance, no bank needed. You see that? Owner finance, no bank needed. I know it's hard to see on my phone the way we're doing it. All right. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to click save. Now that listing looks a whole lot better once it gets done saving. Let me see if I can show it to you on the desktop now, if it'll let me. Yep. Hold on. I'm going to go back to it. All right. Now you can see the listing still being reviewed, but it has a title of owner finance, no bank needed, with the nice house, 220. Dude, this is going to blow up. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure it blows up, because now that I have it the way that I want it, okay, the way that it looks good, it's got the title, all of that. What I'm going to do is you see the button that says boost listing? All right. I'm going to boost the listing according to whatever I can afford, let's say. All right. So maybe I'm going to do $4 a day or $6, but I never go beyond $6. All right. That personally, I don't. All right. So you can see, you can set the time frame to select custom budget and duration. So I can change the dollar figure around, how much I want to spend per day, how many days do I want to do this? I want to run it for a whole 7 days. I want it to end on this day. Okay. So you just kind of set it up to fit your budget and your time frame. I got my credit card in there. When I'm ready, I'm going to hit promote now. This big blue button down at the bottom, promote now. Now, who does it show it to? That's a good question. When we pay Facebook $5 a day to promote that listing, what does that mean? Where do they promote it? How do they promote it? Well, the answer is probably more complex than what I'm going to share with you as an answer, because I don't know the inner workings of Facebook quite like a developer might, but I can tell you that it's based on the address. Okay. The address and zip code of the property address listing in the listing. Okay. Also, if you remember, and you can go back and watch this on video, after we set up the listing and we hit next, the next page was like another location thing, checking to make sure we have the location correct. Okay, because when you boost a listing, they're going to show it to people just in that location. So if Coach Hervik is in San Diego, California, and he's scrolling through Facebook looking for a property, he's not going to find that one because that one's clear over here in Belton, Missouri. Okay, so when you boost the listing, you really are targeting that particular area that surrounds that house. So instead of going in and being all complex and being like, hey, let me teach you how to build a Facebook ad from scratch and all this shit, I used to do it all the time. Don't do it no more. We just boost them because it's super, super simple, and it targets the right area anyway. All right. So I recommend that you put the Facebook Marketplace listing up, go correct the title. Okay. And then come back, and I'm going to share screens here. All right. Let me get out of there. Go to Marketplace, find your listing, click share, go to share to a group, or list in more places. I like list in more places because, see, it pulls up all my groups. Now that I have the ad looking exactly how I want it, I can put it in real estate wholesaling investing, wholesale real estate, House Max, that's a big one around my area, real estate deal find, wherever I want it to go. And as soon as I get done clicking these buttons, I hit post, it posts that same listing in all of the groups that I clicked. Okay. You can only do a certain number each day, but you can do it every day. All right. You can come back here every 7 days, I believe it is, and hit renew. Okay. And renew everything. You can, you can come over here and click if you're not getting enough traction, click the boost listing and put a little money on it. And you'll get a little more traction. Okay. So that's how simple it is to do a ad on Facebook. Now, real quick, just for clarity, I'm going to create a new listing again, just to show you this. I'm going to click home for sale or rent. Now, if I were going to do it in the for rent section, it would just be as easy as doing exactly as we just did, except I would come down here and click rent instead of for sale. That is the only difference in going from one category to the next. Okay. So don't sweat the Facebook stuff no more because it's pretty easy. I think we overthink it. I get a little intimidated by it too, and it changes too much, and that's scary too. But don't let it rob you because it's not that complicated. Once you get your sleeves rolled up and you get into it once or twice, and that quirky little thing about going back in and correcting the title, okay, they need to fix that, but maybe they will someday. But however, before you go hit and share or before you go hit and boost, make sure it looks right. And then if it doesn't look right, it's easy to fix by going in here, find your listings in the marketplace, then click that one, and then you can go down here and you can click edit listing. Okay, well, I'm going to change up the listings here and change the description, change the pictures. I got the wrong picture in the wrong place, so let me switch pictures around. Okay, now that looks better. Okay, great. Again, notice no title. The title option only is available evidently on cellular phone, on a mobile device. All right. So it's easier, honestly, to edit your listings from a mobile device. Just you have better options. Okay. But I find it easy to set them up on desktop, but I have to go in and correct it before it's final on phone. It's crappy, but that's the world we live in. So I'm sure not complaining about getting the traction on getting the deals sold. So,
Hey, Justin, I got a
yes,
question.
yes, LaShonda.
And I appreciate you showing me how you do the ad because I'm a little slow when it comes to Facebook. But when you that option where you posting them in the groups, you have to be mindful of the groups that you're posting in because some of them you can't post. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the one question. And then my other question is, so you boost automatically, or do you put it on there, or do you put it on the marketplace for a few days or a day or two, and then you boost it? How do you do that?
Yeah, great question. I was going to mention that, but
I'm sorry.
No, I lost it mentally about 10 minutes ago. So,
Okay.
yeah, so I'm glad you brought that back. Yeah, I'm a tight ass. Okay, so I don't like to pay for nothing that I don't have to. Marketplace itself is free. It only costs me money when I boost it. So I'll give it 24 to 48 hours before I'll go in there and boost it. Because I might find somebody organically, and that'll save me $10.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was getting into when I was asking you a while back. Did you boost it automatically, or how did you do that?
Now we usually wait about 48 hours, and then if we're not getting any traction, we'll boost it. And then we'll boost it through the weekend, whatever that is. So today's Tuesday, that means we'd have to boost it for at least 5 days. So we'll boost it for 5 days. We'll go through the weekend. If we're still not getting a lot of traction for some reason, then there's either something wrong with the deal, like it's too expensive, or nobody wants to live there for some reason. It's an ugly house, like it's jacked up in some way or another that you're not familiar with, or we just pull it down and then relist it in the rent category and see if we can find somebody over there. Does that make sense? So we'll play around with it a little bit, but not a lot. But we kind of pace ourselves out to find somebody over a couple week period of time. Okay. If I don't find somebody in the first 48 hours, I'm not biting my fingernails like this, because I know I'm just fishing. Sometimes when you go fish, you throw the line in the water, boom, right away. Okay. Pretty rare, but it happens. And then there's other times you sit there for hours and nothing. And then all of a sudden you get a bite. So it's kind of like unpredictable in a sense. So I pace myself out, if that makes sense.
Justin, is this the last, I know that you said that, like, Sean had brought this up and that's why he did it in terms of this book thing, but is this the last series in terms of dispo? Because I would really love to see the dispo when it comes to the cash side. Because I think that this is one of the things that we're really struggling with.
Yeah.
When it comes to the cash side, in terms of what do you do when you get a deal and you're trying to wholesale that?
Yeah.
Steps that you do.
Yeah.
Or the other coaches do.
Okay.
To go from there.
Okay. Sandra, I think that's a great point. And how about next week we focus on that?
Yeah, that's awesome. I was just asking. Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
I'd love to. Yeah, that's great. And I think it's smart that we handle it kind of in two topics, because there is the rent to own and then there's ugly.
Yeah. I was just checking if this is the last one in terms of this, but that's why I'm saying that. But yeah, that's great. We pick it up next time and go from there.
Okay, let me show you real quick before we wrap up here. Let me show you MySmartMove. Okay. MySmartMove. When you go to MySmartMove.com, that's what it looks like. You have to sign up. But I'm going to log in here instead of signing up. And you can see as soon as I log in, it stops me and it says, whoa. We recognize your email address as both a landlord and a renter account. Okay, well, that's because I tested my own stuff. You should too. Okay. Select the account which you'd like to log in. So I'm going to log in as a landlord. I'm going to put my password back in. So I'm going to log in as a landlord. Now, over here to the left is our menu. All right. So we can start an application. Don't want to yet. My dashboard, that's where we are. My applications, my properties, my account, so on and so forth, all the way down. Real quick, I want to show you these tools for landlords real quick. Look at this. Does this look familiar? Mr. John Doe, thank you for your recent rental application. After reviewing the provided information, we find that we're unable to accept your rental application at this time, and here's the reasons why. 1, temporary or irregular employment. You don't have a job. Number 2, we can't find anywhere that you've ever worked. Okay. All right. You know what I mean. This big old negative letter. Have anybody ever got one of these? Okay. Never. Don't say that. Don't admit it to it. Okay. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I've seen some like this though on credit applications. All right. So you can see it's got the tools here to set you up to accept or decline a prospect tenant or tenant buyer. Unfortunately, your application has been declined. Okay. Let's look at the other one. View acceptance letter. Okay, application number, application name. Congratulations, your rental application for the property blank has been accepted. Okay, great. All right, so this is pretty professional stuff here. It's going to make you look real good. The first thing you're going to do once you log in is you're going to come over here and you're going to add a property. You click add a property. Now you add your deal. You put the property name in there, all this information, the address, so on and so forth. Deposit amount, rent amount. What is my deposit amount going to be if it's a lease option deal? Is it going to be $500 or is it going to be $5,000? See, it's going to be, so when you're thinking deposit here, you want to think down payment.
Option consideration, right? That's
Yeah,
what I'm going-
option consideration, the option fee. You want to think that because that's the deal we're doing. We're not doing a straight rental, see. So we're going to go with a bigger deposit here. Now look at this, automatically declined for open bankruptcies within the last 120 months. I can unclick that. I can change the amount of time. This is important for me because if a guy just got through with bankruptcy discharge like last month, it's going to be 2 or 3 years before he can qualify for a home. Okay, right? Am I right? I'm right. You don't get out of bankruptcy and then go buy a house. That's not how it works. You get penalized. Yep, it's your God-given right here in the United States of America to throw a do-over card. And yep, you can do that. You can throw a do-over card. You can take a turnover, and you can file bankruptcy, tell all your creditors to take a hike, and you can start over with a clean slate. Yep. You can go buy a car the very next day, but you got to wait 3 years to get a house. That's just the way the world works. I didn't invent it that way. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's how it works. So you don't want people, you can screen out people automatically based on this right here. That's my point. Once you have all that done, you click save, and now you have a property inside SmartMove here that you can send applications on. Okay. Let me see here if I can show you. Once you get a property loaded in, all you have to do is put the tenant buyer's email address and name and stuff in there, and it'll email them the application. Let's see here. Let me see if I can start an application. Yeah, create a new application. Okay, you notice this? Rental ID, what's the property address, the amount, the deposit, lease terms, okay, applicants' emails. Now look at here. Who is going to pay? Me? Hell no. The renter's going to pay. Okay. When you click renter, it only allows you to do the Smart Check Premium $40 screen, and it does a credit-based resident score. It kind of lets you know if they're good renters. National criminal report, full credit report, eviction report, and income insights. All that will go as soon as you hit send. It will be emailed right to them. They'll pick up the tab when they fill out the application and all that for the background screens. It'll ask them to pay the $40 and off to the races you go. Okay. Once they complete that, let me show you what it looks like here if I can find what I'm looking for. I got one picked out here. Look at this. Request sent today. It's got the old date on it now, but look at this. Application reported income to rent. This is what SmartMove says they think the guy makes 7.2 times monthly what the rent is. Why do I need to know that? This is not an absolute truth, though. This is just this is what they found out, what they thought, right? 7.2 times the rent. However,
you need to know if they can afford to be in the house and make those monthly payments, so you need to know how much you can make in terms of the monthly income.
Yeah, you're still going to want to get copies of pay stubs or tax returns or something to show that they actually do make this money. Okay.
How do you do that, Justin, though? Okay, so
Yep.
the
Well,
monthly income or
when you go to send the tenant buyer this application from MySmartMove.com, you tell them, hey, you're going to get an application in the mail. When your background screen comes back, we'll need to have some pay stubs to show that your proof of income, and then we'll be prepared to do the paperwork, and you can put down the down payment. Does that make sense, Mr. Tenant Buyer? So it's all just kind of just you facilitating it, But you'll need to ask at some point. It's not a perfect place or an imperfect place to ask that, but you'll want to find out. Now, I can view a detailed application by clicking that button, slide down here. Here's his email and his name, score factors, too many serious delinquencies, a derogatory public records, and collections filed. He has a low bureau score, employment and income information. Okay. Now look over here. It says recommendation, decline him. See, it's recommending I decline this person. He has a 502 resident score, which means he's a bad renter. If I wanted to take a deeper look at the credit report, there it is. If I want to take a deeper look at the criminal report, there that is. If I want to take a look at any eviction report available, there that is. So once I get this information back, it allows me to choose accept or decline. Do you think I made the right decision?
It looks like you did.
Yes.
Looks like I did. Yeah. To me, it looks like I did because the guy doesn't pay rent. He doesn't pay his creditors. He doesn't pay his bills. He lies about his income. This is a problem tenant.
He said he lies about his income because it showed 7.2.
Yep.
Times more.
And I asked this gentleman to prove it, and he couldn't. Okay, so again, if I had put this man in my house, I might as well just, I don't know, hand him my checkbook and say, go have fun. Because it's a disaster waiting to happen. All of this happens electronically over the computer without me. I get informed of all this information without him being violated in his privacy, without any of that. Okay, so all of this is real simple and easy. Doesn't require me to do any more work than what you just saw. Okay, so you'll have people you'll need to decline, and then you'll have the right ones that you'll want to accept. Okay, the ones that are declined, you choose to send them one of those letters that I showed you when we started, when we logged in. I'm sorry, we are not able to accept your application for renting this property because blah, 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 blah.
How involved do you get in terms of like helping create their story? In terms of like presenting it to the landlord.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, it's going to be tough if you've told the landlord, hey, Mr. Homeowner, here's what I want to do. I want to put some good people in there. I want to make a little bit of money doing it. I know this needs to be a good solution for you. Mr. Landlord, we're not working with those kinds of people. We're working with people that want to be homeowners, and they want to actually take care of the house, and they want to buy the house. So it's not like a typical renter. You know, Mr. Homeowner, if I were to put you in the driver's seat,
No, I
you
hear
know,
that. What I'm saying is like if you get like a we had an experience recently, me and Alan and my sorry Alan, I have to throw you in here. But where we send out, you know, the application and the tenant wasn't really, you know, really like he wasn't really like he wasn't participating in terms of like the application. So we had to come up with the story pretty much. I felt like we had to, Alan. I mean, I don't
yeah.
know, do you feel like we had to? But I'm just saying, it's like, how involved do you get in terms of like having to help create a story to help the tenant to make it more presentable to
Yeah.
the landlord? You know what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say? Like, you have to color our side of the line a little bit, you know?
No.
You don't do that?
No. So, you know, when I'm telling the homeowner, hey, if I put you in the driver's seat and let you look at the, you know, credit report and the criminal report and the what was the other, the eviction report. If I let you look at this information, if I let you meet these people, you feel more comfortable about them. Is that something that makes you feel more comfortable? We move forward with this today. Well, when he calls me on that later, and he says, "Hey, you know, I'd like to see these people's. You said I could see these people's information. I'd like to know a little bit about who's living in this house." Oh, okay, yes, sir. Screenshot.
No,
Screenshot.
it wasn't a screenshot in terms of we
Yeah.
had to do this thing where it was like, you know, you had to help like make the tenant look good for the landlord. Like we had to help, you know, write it
Yeah.
out.
I don't do that.
So you don't do that.
No. I'll take a screenshot of this screen right here. I'll show you one more time here. Share the screen with you. Yeah, I'll take a screenshot of this screen right here with the man's name, email, and it'll say accepted right here. Okay. It'll have a higher resident score than this because this guy does not have the right stuff. All right. And once I send that to him, it shows TransUnion right here in the top left-hand corner. I'll explain. Hey, Mr. Homeowner, I'm going to send you a screenshot of his approval and acceptance by TransUnion. You know, one of the major 3 credit reporting bureaus. We did a full check, a credit, criminal, and eviction. Mr. Homeowner, I cannot show you. I'm sorry, I cannot show you the actual credit reports and the criminal records and the evictions. Howbeit there weren't anything really to show on those. But you can see the recommendation here from TransUnion is that he's a good renter. We've also called his workplace and verified he works there. We've checked his income and all that. Now we can share some of those things with you. Does that make you feel more comfortable with this person?
But this
You know,
is very different where
Yeah.
like it was like a veteran and we had to like, you know, like he served the country, he's a good person or stuff. But he wasn't willing to go and like, you know, finish the application. So we had to come out here and try to like, you know, like elaborate a little bit and try to, you know what I mean, present him in a better light than he really was.
Yeah.
Really, you know. So you don't do that.
I don't do that.
If you do that, if you have
No.
to do that, that means that they're not a good tenant.
Yes, you are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
If they cannot stand on their own 2 feet on this
Right.
deal right here, I have nothing for them. Because you know, yes, I will work with people with lower credit. Yes,
Right.
I will work with people that had an eviction 5 years ago, but they've had a solid job for the last 3 years and
Right.
they've turned a new leaf. Okay, those things don't disqualify you here. Medical expenses and collections, medical collections on your credit report don't necessarily disqualify you here. All right, that's
Right.
not what we're looking at. But if I have to go lie my ass off to the homeowner to make you look like a not a slug or
Yeah,
something,
that's not that you gotta walk away. That's pretty much
yeah, that's sketchy. That's sketchy,
Yeah.
sketchy. And that dude's gonna fuck somebody, and he's gonna blame you. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
So
It was the least option, you know. It was and like I felt so bad because you know I was disappointed and stuff like that. But we had to, you know, go to that extent. But sometimes the least option it doesn't go that way, you know.
That's
they're not
correct.
always a good tenant and stuff like
No.
that. So
No, and you'll want to do your best to find good tenants and put them in and avoid the
right.
rest. A questionable tenant is a bad tenant. Every time, in my
Mm,
experience. Okay.
okay.
There are good people out there. If it's a pretty house, just hold the fort, stay the course a little bit, because they'll come around. It just take a little longer.
Right.
Okay. You don't always, go to the prom with the first person that asks, right? So, you want to hold out for that sexy football player guy or whatever. I don't know.
Here you go. Here you go.